Hey guys, King of Charmanders here. Okay, so I bring to you this sweet 5-0 with my most powerful open ultra team that isn't that spicy at all. Actually, I kind of created, well, it's just a spin-off of my second most powerful team. So for those of you that don't know, I made Legend in Season 6 using a team I broke into ppoke.com with an Obama XL, Cresselia, and an Excavalier as the closer. So I used that team, and it took me to Legend, and all I did for Season 7 was actually take Excavalier and replace it with Talonflame XL. I wasn't too sure how this combination would work. I really like Excavalier, however, with Talonflames in the back, I like Talonflame because it's bulky, and I decided to put it in my back row instead of Excavalier. Now, the difficulty of this team is that you are basically going to have to sack Obama Snow or be a lot more creative with Obama Snow to make this team work, just because what happens with Talonflame is you have basically either burb or you flame charge everything to death. But if played well, this team can work just as well as the number 2 most powerful team in Season 6, which was created by this guy right here. I am still really freaking salty that I got beat out by a Giratina Origins Lapras Registeel team. Like, I got beat out by, well, technically I have Obama Snow is meta now, but you know, the only super meta thing I had in Season 6 was that Cresselia is a Swave Switch. Yeah, I'm still really salty about that. Anyways, here are the battles. I hope you guys enjoy this. This is a 5-0 featuring double XL with Cresselia Save Switch, which is an original team of my creation, but like, you know, it's like, it's not really that spicy. Not really. Yeah. Anyways, here. Alright. So, for this time around, as I mentioned before, you're going to see some really unique plays from me using Obama. That's because I practiced with Obama for so long, and in this 5-0 set, I actually, with Talonflame in the back, I find I try to play out Obama a lot more, because you don't want to switch out. Yeah, Cresselia still works as a safe switch, but just depends what you face. As you see, I get a Lapras versus Obama. This is actually a Water Gun Lapras, so I am very confused right now. Water Gun Lapras might be out here to take on those Talonflames, so it's not actually it's not a bad choice, actually. It's just, yeah, it's not a bad choice. As you see, I'm going straight Energy Ball because it's worth it, because if it doesn't go through, I grab Shield. If it does go through and I do get the debuff, that's even better. As you see here, I eat an Ice Beam, and at the same time, my opponent is using a Water Gun Lapras, but even though Water Gun is resisted by Obama Snow, as you see, Water Gun chunks. It's not quite like Dragon Breath, but as you see, it's doing a decent chunk against my Obama Snow. As you see here, for some odd reason, I do not get any debuffs. Well, I wasn't expecting any debuffs to begin with. However, as I mentioned, just go straight Energy Ball. It's worth for me to go straight Energy Ball because either one, I'm going to KO the Lapras, or two, I'm going to grab both shields. So I'd rather have both shields and come at this with shield advantage, or I would KO this Lapras and keep alignment. As you see here, we do KO the Lapras, we get the shield, and it happens to be a Clefable. So I'm going to automatically assume this is a double Charmer team. I'm going to send in Talonflame to sponge the damage, and I'm actually wrong. It's not a double Charmer team. It's a Giratina with Dragon Breath. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to fire off this Brave Bird, and then I'm going to dip to Cresselia. Fortunately, they do not shield this, and this is really great for me because all it's going to do is take one Moonblast to take out this Giratina. My opponent does get a move. The good thing about Dragon Breath Giratina is that I have a better matchup with Cresselia, and with Dragon Breath, it takes them a while to get some energy. As you see here, a Moonblast does go through. This should KO the Giratina, and then I have a Talonflame and a whole Cresselia versus your Togekiss. Or actually, not Togekiss, Clefable. I am so used to seeing Togekisses instead of Clefable that I'm just like, oh, like, it's a Togekiss as soon as I see a Charm. But it's actually an XL Clefable, which is actually more dangerous than in my opinion, it's more dangerous than Togekiss because it has more bulk and it's XL. So, as you see here, I'm pretty safe in this scenario. I can pretty much let go of Cresselia here and just go for the double Flame Charge, which as you see do here. Actually, I don't even need a double Flame Charge. All I'm going to do is I'm going to Flame Charge, force the shield, and then I'm going to Incinerate down. And that's GG's. The reason why I swapped out is because I didn't want my... well, it didn't really matter. Like, even if my Cresselia did get farmed down, it wouldn't matter, and that's GG's. Game 1's in the books, and as you see here, That was a pretty interesting match, just because I don't see a lot of Clefable. Well, actually, you're bound to see Clefable XLs at this point. Me, personally, I don't play it a lot, so yeah. Anyways, as you see here, Obama Snow is still a fantastic lead, as I mentioned before. We get a fellow legend here, so I can already tell, I'm like, oh boy, this is going to be a really sweaty battle. Well, I always expect sweaty battles, but when you see the pose, you're like, oh, this is great. And I technically lose this lead. So against Cresselia, there's only one way you can win this lead. However, you have to fire 2 energy balls, as in 2 energy balls have to go through, and or you have to get debuff, and then you weather ball it to death. So as you see here, my opponent does shield the energy ball. Great counting on their part. I'm going to basically sack my lead and sack my Obama Snow. So this is what I like doing here. I don't like giving up switch to mirror with Cresselia or send in Talonflame, because if they send in a Swampert, I'm going to be in trouble. If they send in Amok, a Gengar, or a Giratina with Shadow Claw, I'm in trouble. As you see here, I'm going to straight energy ball. I'm going to just pretty much just not shield anything at this point, and I'm going to let my Snowman go. If you do land 2 energy balls, you can straight weather ball down. Then you can decide whether or not you want to keep switch or you want to let your Snowman go. As you see here, I'm just going to go straight weather ball at this point. Hopefully they do blow their energy, or they get a little greedy, because if they get greedy, I can possibly force one more shield, and they do not. They fire immediately, they will win switch, and I believe I do send in Big Burb, so that Burb can go ahead and farm down. Which is actually a very risky play, but you know, I'm going to give it a shot anyways. Seeing as my opponent did Moonblast me to death, I'm going to predict and say that they actually don't have a Future Sight Cresselia. As you see here, my opponent does swap into their Swampert. Instead of firing the Brave Bird, I just send in Cresselia, because I have shield advantage, so my opponent's probably going to try to bait me to oblivion, trying to take my final shield, or trying to take at least one or both of my shields. As you see here with Grass Knot goes through. It does heavy damage. My opponent does not shield. My opponent probably thought it was going to be a Moonblast. Some variations are running Moonblast Future Sight because of the new Talonflame meta, so you might see that around. As I'm going to do is farm down. I have 2 shields, and we get a Berserker in the back. This kind of sucks, because Berserker does Berserker does really well against Cresselia, and it's best buddied, and it's actually like XL, so I'm like, oh boy. So as you see here, I elect to switch out so it doesn't get any more farm. All I have to really do here, though, is I'm pretty comfortable, because all I have to do is just Flame Charge down, and then just pretty much use the Incinerate damage. As you see, I managed to get Incinerate through. This is why I love Incinerate, and I hate Incinerate. I hate it because it's slow, but it's good if you manage to get one through, like over here. My opponent does elect to switch out, and all I'm going to do is farm down this Cresselia. I already have 2 shields. I'm going to tank this, though, because I'm probably not going to get Future Sighted, and I'm correct. Don't get Future Sighted, and all I have to do is I have a shield, and I have a Flame Charge, and that's GG's. My opponent quits just because they know there's no play, and that's GG's. Again, playing the Obama lead is really up to you. The only reason I'm able to play it so well is because I've played this team so many times. It is the 2nd most powerful team as of Season 6, but that it features Excavalier in the back. Even though Talonflame does replace in the back, there's still a lot of sweet plays you can do with this team. So I definitely recommend that you look up Obama, practice a little bit, because Obama can win a lot of leads, but even though technically Obama loses some leads, there are ways you can win it. Like with Cresselia. With Cresselia, if you land 2 energy balls, you can go straight weather ball. If you land an energy ball and you get the debuff, you can go straight weather ball after that. So there's a lot of ways you can play out of Cresselia. It's pretty nuts how you do it, but like I said, Obama's a fantastic lead in Open Ultra, even though for some odd reason, I haven't seen any Talonflames in the lead. Well, actually, I've seen some Talonflames in the lead, but I think only 2 of them. Just because the rise of Swampert. Because a lot of people are using Swampert leads because Talonflame has been on the rise in the lead as well. So, yeah. As you see here, I do get a Obama Snow into an Articuno. So, again, one of those things. I lose this lead if Articuno Hurricanes me. If I time everything right, like you see here, I'm timing I'm trying to time it so they don't get an extra Ice Shard through. Because I can win this match straight Weather Ball. My opponent shields, which is very strange. Well, it's not really strange. If you don't know, you can tank a few Weather Balls from Obama Snow, but I'm guessing what they're trying to do here is they're trying to fire up an Icy Wind, and I'm like, yeah, this is an Icy Wind. So they didn't count to 8, or I didn't get 8 off, so as you see here, that is an Icy Wind, and my opponent is just going to Icy Wind me down. This is great because I could literally straight Weather Ball. You can give up 2 shields here and win switch. It's really up to you. As you see here, I will use a shield just to pressure my opponent. And I'm going to straight Weather Ball. Weather Ball, Weather Ball, Weather Ball. You just ball out. That's all you do. Just ball out, ball out, ball out. As you see here, I fired the third. Actually, is this the third ball? I don't know. It's the third, but as you see here, I should be able to get to another Weather Ball. And we take back switch. So, this is really great. We win, well, not take back switch, but like we win alignment. So, as you see here, we keep alignment. We take out the lead. And where this goes south is if your Obama eats a Hurricane, you're dead. Don't eat a Hurricane. It's that simple. As you see here, my opponent does switch into a Lapras. This is great, but I think, is this where I lag? Yes. So because I lagged here, I lost a turn, and I'm not able to get to an energy ball, and my opponent doesn't shield it because... So this kind of sucks. This means I'm going to be behind. I mean, lag has been pretty bad nowadays, so I really don't mind. You should, I mean, it's kind of sad. You shouldn't expect lag from a multi-million-dollar company, but you know what? Their game still lags anyways. As you see now, I'm going to have to be a little fancy here. I'm firing off straight Grass Knot to take out this Lapras. I would have been in the better position if I was able to get the energy ball because I lost moves due to lag. But you know what? All you can do is really press forward. If you lag in the middle of the battle, lag doesn't give you time to reset. So all we can do is just keep battling. As you see here, my opponent is straight Ice Beaming me to death, which is actually the right play because Ice Beam does more damage over time. And over here, the problem, I'm assuming they're going to let their Lapras go. As you see here, I'm going to take heavy damage with Grass Knot, and I should be able to farm down. But they do get a move off. I'm going to still let this go. I'm pretty sure this is a Surf. And no, it's not a Surf. It's another Ice Beam. And somehow, some way, I live. Well, actually, I don't live. The thing is, like, I think, well, actually, I do live, but barely. So I swap out immediately. I was like, okay, I can't let you farm me down. Now this is really sweaty because now my opponent has a Swampert, and this really sucks. So what I have to do here is I have to, well, I should be able to do, I have to double burb. If one burb goes through, I win. It's that simple. But all I have to do is just literally get Incinerate through that Lapras, and I should win. So as you see here, that Lapras should go down this. We do manage to get the burb off, and this should KO the Swampert. As you see, it KOs, and that's GG's, because all we have to do is fire one more Fireball, and then the Lapras Notches monster goes down, and that's GG's. Thankfully. We would have been a lot more dominant, but even though we somehow lost a few turns and was not able to get another Weather Ball, I mean an Energy Ball, I still won. Like I said before, if the game lags, lag isn't going to wait for catch up with you. So the only thing you can do is try to keep your win condition. So luckily for me, I was able to keep my win condition. Thankfully. Because, yeah. Because what would have happened is if I got the Energy Ball from the Lapras, I would have had a lot safer play, and Cresselia would have been so healthy that I could take out the... I would put a lot of pressure on my opponent. I would have a lot... It would have been that close, is I guess what I'm saying. But as you see here, we played really, really well. Very, very good. Very, very good plays. And, again, a lot of sweaty battles. So I'm really happy with the results as of right now. And we get to our next opponent. Again, Obama Snow... Cresselia, Talonflame is really powerful, and we face another legend. Oh boy, it is really sweaty up in these parts. And we get an Amok. Okay, here's where this sucks and where it doesn't suck. You can win the 2, you basically win the 2 shield against a little Amok unless you eat a Sludge Wave. Or if they get moves through. So you have to be very careful. As you see here, I fire Energy Ball on the right, Weather Ball. On the right interval so that I can basically not allow them to get extra Snarls in. I don't tank the first one, because I'm guessing my opponent is going to Dark Pulse, and they do. And now I'm just going to go straight Weather Ball. I should be able to shield everything, and you know that advice I gave you about not letting fast moves through? Yeah, I kind of time it wrong, so. As you see here, I time it wrong, I fire the Weather Ball off. I'm just going to shield this, and then what I'm going to do is I'm going to farm down. I should be able to farm down here and have a lot of energy for whatever's in the back. As you see, they go straight for the Sludge Wave, because my opponent is aware that they won't be able to get to another move, which is really smart. They have shield advantage, and they have a whole Obstagoon. So this is okay. This isn't horrible, but Obstagoon with energy, especially if it gets a boost, is pretty dangerous. As you see here, I'm gonna go for the energy buff for the second one. Hopefully they don't shield. However, my opponent still does have 2 shields, so they're probably gonna shield this one, and they do. So they do shield the energy ball. Unfortunately, I do not get the debuff, which kind of sucks, but it's better than it's better than nothing. As you see here, I do get Talonflame. I do send Talonflame in because Talonflame does resist counter. So does Cresselia, but I don't want those Night Slashes to go through. If a Night Slash is not buffed, as you see there, it doesn't do a lot of damage against a Talonflame. Now, given this Obstagoon will outpace you to living hell, but you know what? It's what it is. It's an Obstagoon. As you see, Night Slash does go off. My opponent does get another one, and my bird is dangerously, well, not dangerously low, but it's pretty low. As you see here, I get the Flame Charge off. I should be able to eat another Night Slash at this range. I don't shield this because I'm like, alright, you know, I can shield it, I can take it, and then I should be able to knock out this Obstagoon, and then I have energy for whatever's in the back. It's a Clefable, so I do fire the Flame Charge off, and all I'm going to do is send in my Cresselia immediately. This is GG's. All it's going to take is a Moonblast and a Grass Knot, or 2 Moonblast to take out this Clefable, even though it's an XL. So that's oh man, that was a very dicey match. The reason being is because if you do get Sludge Waved, Obamasto dies. I think it can live at full HP, but I wouldn't test it, you know what I mean? That's what I love about Obamasto. In a lot of scenarios in the 2-shield, you can either take back switch or win switch. It's really up to you, and it really depends. But as you see here, sweet match. We play this really, really well, and that is GG's. Talonflame with energy is an absolute monster, and it's able to do a lot of damage if it's revved up. As you see, I don't actually kill with the Grass Knot, but my opponent does quit out because essentially all I'm going to do is farm down, and that's GG's. Really sweaty matches. Like, it's really intense up in here. Like, dang, like, I was like, wow, I'm facing, like, even if you're not facing former rank 10s, you could still lose, of course, because it's rock, paper, scissors, but, you know what, as you see there, especially, I think, against that one legend, there are ways to play Bama. If you know how to play Bama, there are ways to play Bama. We get another W. As here, I'm kind of confused just because I'm like, wait, the 4th one didn't register, so I go back, and there we go. Una mas. One more. Just one more. Again, Obamasto is a great lead. There's a lot of ways you can play out of stuff. So what I normally do with this team, since I don't have Excavalier, is I will just I pretty much sack Obamasto for the most part. Obamasto into Cresselia. Again, you only win this one if you get 2 energy balls through, then you can straight Weather Ball. However, if you don't get one through and your opponent does shield, you're kind of behind. Kinda. As you see here, I do get the energy ball off. As you see here, I don't manage to get on my bubbles. My opponent eats the first one, which is good. My plan is working so far. This is what we need. I can probably expect this to be a Moonblast. If it's a Future Sight, it kind of sucks, because Future Sight does a ton of damage. However, as my opponent did not get as many Psycho Cuts as intended to get to a Future Sight, I'm like, alright, cool. So we're firing the second energy ball here. Again, if this one goes through, I should be able to straight Weather Ball down, and it does, which is perfect. Now we can take back switch. We will be down a shield. However, I would rather keep realignment. I don't shield the next one. I should be able to get to a Weather Ball and have my opponent decide, hey, do you want to come at us with 2 shields? Or are you going to try to save your Cresselia? So my opponent can decide whether they want to keep their Cresselia or let it go. As you see here, I will shield this. This is probably a Grass Knot, but I want to keep alignment, and I'd rather keep alignment and have energy for the next base. I'm just going to throw a Weather Ball on whatever comes in next. Basically what's going to happen. Match is successfully farmed down. I have a Weather Ball for whatever comes in out next. And we get a Togekiss. This will either pump them the shield or it's going to do heavy damage, because Weather Ball does huge damage against flyers. My opponent does shield and they do let it go. I will send in Talonflame, so because it resists these charms. So there we go. We are eating these charms, and my opponent is either one going to stay in or switch out, as you see here. They switch into their Swampert, but I go straight Burr because I had a hunch that my opponent's going to try to either one catch something, or there's not a lot of things that resist Brave Bird. As you see, they don't call it, and I call the right move. Like, I already knew it was going to happen. So as you see, all I'm going to do is just farm down this Swampert, and then I'm just going to throw all this energy at the Togekiss in the back, and that's GG's. Really good battles. I hope you guys enjoyed this. Again, if you play Obamasto really well in the lead, you can still take back the lead, even though you're gonna be down a shield and everything like that, but there are some leads you can win if you don't, and my opponent gets debuffed here, so it extra sucks for them, but it doesn't really matter, because all I have to do is send in my Talonflame and Incinerate down, and that's pretty much GG's. As you see here, it's GG's to my opponent. Again, really great battles, and that was a sweet 5-0. I didn't expect to see, like, I wasn't really expecting, like, how, like, all these leads, because I was like, oh boy. Like I said, with this team variation, I sack Obamasto, and then I try to play it out. Yes, your safe switch is Cresselia, and you have Talonflame as a closer. But normally what I will do is basically try to just play out the lead and either get energy with Talonflame, as you saw there, or just sack Abomasnow. I played really well this set. I hope you guys have a wonderful day. I hope your pets are doing very well. Thank you so much. If you haven't done yet, please like and subscribe. I'm close to 1K subs. Good luck in Go Battle League sets, and I will see you guys on the next video.